The Steam machine is finally here. And no, it's not dead on arrival. Saying so is nice and clickbaity, but it's very likely that the Steam machine will be sold out rather quickly initially. But why is that, if according to so many large and small tech tubers, the price and value proposition are that bad? Now, I'm not here to tell you that the Steam machine is a fantastic deal right now. But I want you to look at the bigger picture with me here, because nothing happens in a vacuum and context always matters. Its spec, price, and availability are now fully available to everyone. Numerous tech channels have already given full breakdowns of the hardware, performance in various games, power draw, noise levels, and much more. I myself have looked at the Linus review, Gamers Nexus, Digital Foundry, Deck Ready, and a couple others. And I've also been reading into several Reddit forums on what they think about the machine. And the general consensus is just that the machine isn't a great deal. In fact, as I'm recording this, Linus Tech Tips just released a video showcasing a full desktop PC that blows the Steam machine's performance out of the water for roughly the same price. And if you know your way around hardware or have been building machines for a while, this doesn't really come as a surprise to you. It gets a bit more difficult to match the Steam machine's price once you really dig down into the small form factor, because those parts are often a bit more harder to come by and often not readily available. So why am I convinced that the Steam machine and later the Steam frame will sell just fine? It's a lot of topics. Let me yap a little here. To me, Steam hardware is really all about choice, about ownership, about being able to do whatever you want to do with your device. This isn't the case with your Xbox, your PlayStations, and especially not with your Nintendo devices, and never was. In fact, we're actually living in times where ownership over your devices, games, items, appliances is practically being successively taken away from you. And this is not only the case in the gaming industry. You can buy a car these days that has seat heating integrated, where you need to pay a subscription fee monthly to even unlock the goddamn feature. And that also goes for map and navigation systems and other things in cars. And that's just one example. But I'm straying a bit from the topic here. The point is, Valve is a company that has a track record of about 2 decades on pro-consumer choices and has fostered immense consumer goodwill over the years. In other words, the Steam machine is simply another step into the right direction, into giving the power into your hands, into the consumer's hands, into letting people decide what they want to do with their devices, into allowing them using whatever peripherals they want to use. Any mouse and keyboard, any controller you can think of, you can use it together with your Steam machine. And that is the beauty of it. To understand why this is so important to me and many others, you don't really have to look far. Simply look at the Stop Killing Games initiative that has recently gone lots of traction, but has also now hit a wall in the European Parliament, as far as I'm informed. Look at channels like Lewis Rossman or Gamers Nexus, who do a lot of coverage on topics related to consumer advocacy, consumer rights, and the battles they're fighting. It is highly interesting, and I cannot recommend them enough. The point is that consumer choice and ownership of things is simply being phased out by large corporations. Just look back several years ago how physical gaming is generally being phased out. Nintendo is just doing it with their game cartridges that simply contain nothing, and or used to sell you a package that simply contains a leaflet with a download code for a game, giving you the illusion that you're buying something physical. And this goes much further, even into the realm of cloud gaming, where CPU and GPU power and games are simply being rented out to you for a monthly fee, in which point you simply own nothing anymore. Which might sound convenient at first, because you might say, oh, fantastic, I only need a television and a fast internet connection to be able to game whatever I want to. Well, yeah, great. There are certainly circumstances where this might be practical to you, but it has terrible implications for the future of gaming, of game preservation, of consumer rights and choice. And that is something that I would really like you to think about. Sit down and reconsider what makes the most sense in the long term. Because this world nowadays, especially when it comes down to corporations and big companies, is all about short term gains and long term fuck yous. And you can take it from me, I've been working for Nintendo of Europe for a decade, and I don't have a lot of positive things to say anymore about this company. And as a lifelong gamer, I'm just really fucking tired of all the anti consumer practices I've been seeing in the gaming industry throughout the years. And what Valve is doing here, again, really isn't the best in terms of price and or performance. Partly it is not their fault, partly they could have subsidized some of it. I think that is something that would have been beautiful and everybody would have loved it. However, as it stands, the Steam Machine isn't a fantastic price performance device item right now, but it is still a rare step into the right direction. These are the devices that we should cherish, that we should value, that we should flock to, because they give us the choice, the freedom to do whatever we want to do with them. This isn't particularly a move that is rare for Valve, but it is a rare move on the market in general to see a device like this being launched. While technically there are just far more powerful devices out there, and I personally won't be buying a Steam Machine because my desktop is much more powerful than that, I would at any rate still always prefer to purchase an open consumer-friendly device like this over any console that is currently on the market, and be locked into a subpar ecosystem paying for the most basic things while simultaneously supporting a company that has a background of anti-consumerism and disgusting litigious actions for the most petty things. I personally don't want that, and I hope you also do not want to support that in the future. So yes, in summary, the Steam Machine isn't a fantastic value proposition right now, but keep in mind all the points we just mentioned. It is an open system. You want to install something else on it, another operating system? Feel free to do that. Install Windows, install another flavor of Linux if you see fit, upgrade the RAM, upgrade the hard drive, use an SD card to upgrade storage, do whatever you want. Yes, because it is a small form factor build, it is quite limited in terms of CPU, GPU, but all the other things are still open, and that is still a rare drop on the market and a rare step into the right direction. I wish more companies would do that, as I don't really want to make it seem like I'm bootlicking here, but I honestly believe it is a good drop on the market, even if it doesn't have a fantastic price or value proposition right now. A last thing that I would like to mention for this video is the way that Valve is actually going about selling the Steam Machine. You might have seen this before. If not, you can go ahead and check it on Steam right now. They are really trying to combat scalping. How are they doing this? How it works is that you can now go to the Steam store and basically put your order in, or should I say your reservation. Those reservations will be collected and at some point be cut off and then randomized, and you will be informed via email when your order can be placed. Further, there are also criteria on who can actually sign up. It says you must have a Steam account in good standing, must have made a purchase on Steam prior to April the 27th, 2026, and there's also a limit, one sign up per household. So all of these things are, again, a very consumer-friendly approach in order to avoid scalping and to make sure that the average Joe can get their hands on a Steam Machine if they want to. Well guys, and that's about it from my side for today. Enough yapping for now. I hope I was able to convey a point or two on why I really think the launch of the Steam Machine is still a good thing. Personally, I can't wait for the Steam frame. I'm going to be replacing my Valve Index with the Steam frame, and I obviously hope to be on an early list. I hope to be getting it as soon as possible. I'm going to be really excited for that stuff. Has a particular use case for me that I'm going to share with you another time. But so far, Thank you very much for watching. Please share your thoughts with me. Let me know what you agree with or what you disagree with. Perhaps you have a completely different take on the whole situation than me. I'd love to hear it. If you have any questions, let me know. And I'll be seeing you next time.